How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 37 of our West Ham United career mode, and we are back in the Barclays Premier League. Also, we had a fantastic episode last in episode 36, turning things around. We had struggled against Stoke City in our first European Cup match, but thankfully for us, we did pick up a huge home victory against Tottenham Hotspur, and we also beat Charlton Athletic. So we come into a game against recently promoted Cardiff City. They're back in the Premier League, playing away at Cardiff City. Obviously, we're back to using, because they're a team not in the Premier League this season, they don't actually have their regular stadium in, so we will be playing at one of the generic stadiums, but that doesn't make it any different. We come out with a pretty strong lineup. Obviously, Downing sitting in the hole behind Andy Carroll and Valencia, and I kind of took a risk with this one. I decided to play three at the back with Oxlade-Chamberlain and Aaron Cresswell playing as wing fullback type players. Obviously, Cresswell has shown he does have the offensive ability to come forward, so I thought, you know what, we'll try him out as a left mid, basically, but him and Oxlade-Chamberlain playing left and right mids, but I did give them the instruction to play defensively, as in come back on defense, so it basically makes it 5 at the back on defense, but then when we're forward, they act as wide midfielders, and then we have Delph, Noble in the middle of the park. So I thought it would be an interesting formation to give it a try, because it does allow us to play two strikers, but gives us plenty of opportunity there. We nearly score a goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain got forward and lashed a vicious shot that was a great save by the Cardiff keeper, but then the defender who went to clear it nearly puts it in the back of his own net. We are unlucky to not score there. Valencia then, with a great fake shot to get around his man, comes forward and his shot goes just wide of the goal. Unfortunately, we haven't shown that kind of quality finishing that we should in one-on-one opportunities, and really we should be doing better. But Valencia making himself noticed there with another really good chance. Eventually, we get on a counterattack here. Carroll plays the ball forward to Stuart Downing. Valencia gets on the end of a Downing pass, uses his pace to get around a defender, and just holds them off until he's able to just simply slide a shot in past the goalkeeper. Instead of opting for power, he opts for precision. He puts it right in the bottom corner of the net to give us a 1-0 lead and silence the Cardiff fans early on. It's a fantastic goal. Lovely through ball from Downing, and Valencia showing the pace that he has and trying to get back that scoring touch that he showed last year that led to him being our top scorer in not only the Premier League but in all competitions. He struggled a bit at the early going of this year, but he's done to pick up his second goal in the Premier League. And I think, Valencia is a fantastic player, but last year with all those goals, it might have been aberration. We'll have to see. Obviously, we do have a lot of competition for striker positions right now. We have Connor Wickham coming up. We have Andy Carroll trying to get back in the lineup as he gets a great chance with a header from that Mark Noble free kick. You see Carroll getting involved in the match. We also have Diafra Sakho, who scored 15 goals in all competitions last year. Carroll with another chance. What a ball in from Stuart Downing was. He fizzed it in, and Carroll unlucky to not score there. But Oxlade-Chamberlain trying to make his mark on the match here in the 55th minute. Does really want to get to the byline, whipping across. It's floated away only as far as his feet again. And look at the skills there. Scoop turn from the Ox. Might have taken a touch off that defender on his shot, but it's in the back of the net through the legs of the goalkeeper. And we have a 2-0 lead. That with the amount of impotency Cardiff has showed so far, that might wrap things up for us. Take a look at the replay there. It may have taken a touch off the defender, which would allow it to poke through the keeper's legs there as he went to try and block it. It's tough to say if he does get a touch on it or not, but it does eventually go through Marshall's legs and into the back of the net. But it's a beautiful goal by Oxlade-Chamberlain, showing off those skill moves he does have with that lovely scoop turn that gets past the defender with ease and allows him to put the ball in the back of the net. So huge goal for the Ox, obviously our marquee signing really in this offseason. Good to see him, working his way into the team, and maybe showing that this 3 at the back formation could work, because it does put Oxlade-Chamberlain in a position where he likes to play in a wide midfield role and use his pace and speed potentially more than central midfield will allow him to do that, because I love having Downing in the hole behind the strikers, but I also like being able to play 2 at the top, having that strength of Carroll alongside the pace of someone like Valencia. So it's something that you have to complain about because it makes for selection issues, but it's also not necessarily something to complain about because it's a luxury to be able to have that sort of selection dilemma. Carroll with another great chance there. You can see both of our strikers were absolute menaces today. We do pick up a 2-0 victory. That's the final whistle. Fantastic, of course, goals from Valencia and Oxlade-Chamberlain. But for my Moose's 3 stars of the game, my Mighty Hammer 3 points, we have Downing picking up 1 point. I thought he was fantastic. Of course, he did set up Ener Valencia's first goal. Andy Carroll with 2 points, because even though he didn't score, he could have. He had tons of chances. both on the air and in the ground, or on the ground and in the air. So he had a great game. And entered Valencia, of course, with the goal. Many chances in the first half. He was a little bit more silent in the second half. It was eventually subbed off. But he played really well, and he does get the 3 points. So that's fantastic for us that they're doing really well. And it does show that we have a ton of versatility in this side because, you know, Cardiff might have been a little bit impotent there, but we do hold a clean sheet against them, which is fantastic, especially away from home, and a great victory, to be honest. Chiate then comes to my office and said, you know, he thinks he's playing really well. Obviously, he didn't feature in the last game, but he thinks he's playing really well and would like to get back in the starting lineup. Obviously, he was a mainstay in our starting lineup last year, but then with the loss of Alex Song, the bringing in of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Fabian Delph, we've morphed into a diamond there, but we have Oxlade-Chamberlain almost playing as a second cam slash winger slash central midfielder in where Chiate played last year. And then we have Delph and Noble filling out the rest of that midfield diamond. So it's been a little bit tougher for Chiate to break in the lineup. But we do go away to Legia Warsaw in Poland. Huge game here as we do look to pick up our first win in the Europa League. This would be fantastic for us to be able to get 3 points because the board wants us to make it out of the group. That's the main thing they've said. Just get to the knockout stages. Try a little bit of a different lineup here. 4-2-3-1. Chiate does come into the lineup. Noble, Jarvis returning to the lineup. Ravel Morrison as well getting back in the lineup. Same with Connor Wickham. So a few chances for some youngsters to show what they can do. Wickham, obviously, Ravel Morrison, who hasn't had a ton of chances, and he hasn't impressed. He's been very, very inconsistent, so it's tough to see what I want to do. Downing, of course, is hit 30 or 31, and Aaron Cresswell, he scores from anywhere. Look at that, just wand of a left foot he has, or should I say Gareth Cresswell. What a goal it was. An absolute wonder strike from a similar area that he scored that free kick earlier in the season, but that's just absolutely unstoppable, unbelievable. I don't think the keeper thinks he's going to hit it from there. I really just hit it being like, there's no way it's going. The keeper does get hands to it, but he hit it with so much power. If you watch it back, the first view of it at full speed, he hits it so hard right in the top corner. Nothing the keeper could do, and it's in the back, and a huge goal for Aaron Cresswell. And just like that, we're in the lead. You didn't even know it, and bang, 1-0 to West Ham United ahead of Legia Warsaw, and that's exactly what we wanted at this moment in time. But like I said, Morrison's been a bit inconsistent, and it makes it tough for me cam-wise, as Morrison does have a huge chance to stop by the goalkeeper there. He hasn't solidified a cam position with Downing hitting 31. He's 76 overall. I think he plays well above. And how is this on Wickham not a penalty there? Look at him. He just goes up in the air. But a huge chance there, and it's tough to say what I'm going to do in the cam position because Downing is playing as a cam. Obviously, he's listed as a right midfielder. Chiate showing he should be in the lineup with a beautiful goal there. Well worked, playing a triangle out to Oxlade-Chamberlain, then through to Chiate, who makes the darting run inside the defenders, gets plenty of space for himself. He's in on goal, and he decides instead of being caught up by the defender to just hit it after taking 2 touches, and he puts it right in the bottom corner of the net. It's a fantastic goal. So Chiate, well deserved. Thanks for showing me you deserve to be in the team with a beautiful goal and a fantastic performance. I'll tell you what, for me, I'll give you away my 3-pointer right here. Chiate was man of the match for me. He was unbelievable. It was a well-deserved return to the lineup for him, and he really showed off why he should stay in the team. So fantastic to see from Cheikhou Kouyaté, the Senegalese midfielder. He's done really, really well. But back to what I was saying about Cam. Ravel Morrison, he's so inconsistent. He's only 22 years old, so he has tons of potential to show why he should be in the lineup. But Stuart Downing is 31. He's 76 overall. He was 77 last year. You can see he's actually going down in some of his attributes because he's hit that stage where FIFA says, you know what, your attributes have to go down. But it's weird, if you actually look at him in the squad report, he's gone up in a few attributes and down in a few. Which, to be fair, is something that does happen in real life as players lose pace and things of that nature. They do gain maybe not necessarily in technical, but mental attributes. But that's neither here nor there. So Downing isn't going to be a starter forever. Obviously, he's 31 years old. But Morrison has not shown that he deserves to play in that cam role for a full-time basis. And Oxlade-Chamberlain hasn't really shown me that he has the distribution ability to play in a cam role, because it also doesn't allow him to use his pace. It's really a big feature of his game when he gets out in wide positions and is able to run at defenders. As the cam, Downing, obviously you see him running at defenders on a few chances, like that counterattack we had with Valencia's goal at the beginning of this episode, but he doesn't have a ton of those chances. It's more getting Downing on the ball in the final third or even in the middle third of the park and spraying the ball out to our attackers, such as Valencia and players like that, to create chances is basically what I need Downing for, which I would want someone more technically able to be able to do that. So there's a few players I'm having to look at. We'll actually detail some potential players who I might be looking at in a future episode when I bring back, I'm actually going to do it next episode, I'll bring back a feature that I had used earlier in previous career modes. I haven't really featured it very much in this career mode, maybe once, I'm not even sure if I have at all, but we'll be bringing it back in the next episode. I hope you guys will be excited to see it. Connor Wickham with a near chance there at the end, but he's unable to score in the 90th minute as we look to wrap things up. Legia Warsaw, I'll tell you what, it was similar to the Cardiff game in that after we went 2-0 up, they did ramp up the pressure a little bit and get a few chances. Adrian stood his ground, though, and picks up his second clean sheet of the episode. He looks fantastic, and he actually played really, really well. You'll see when I was talking, if you were watching, of course, he had a bunch of really nice saves that really kept us in the match and kept us forward. So we pick up our first 3 points in Europe. That's a fantastic way to finish out this episode. And like I said, Keontae, man of the match, gets the 3 points. Adrian gets 2, and Aaron Criswell with that fantastic goal does get 1. So that's been the end of the episode, guys. Obviously, we'll wrap things up and we'll get back in the Premier League after this. So I hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Continue to keep watching the career mode as we move forward. And I hope to see you in episode 38. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.